I have found it. Yes, I found the mode of the most beautiful car with open wheels, of course, according to my own personal likes. Here I'm talking about aesthetics, not really about the car's behavior, even though I like it a lot, even as for handling and characteristics. People who have seen eventually my previous videos know that I love cars with a rear wheel drive, no downforce and very little grip, because there's a lot to do for driving and controlling the car. So this is a 1954 Lancia D50. I love the shape of the car with that short nose, the aerodynamic body, and those fuel tanks that fill the gap between the wheels, helping with aerodynamics. I really think that this is the most beautiful car ever made with open wheels, of all eras, of all times. Well, the Lancia D50 was born 2 years before 1953, 1954, so very little action, and then after Lancia retired from races, together with giving up of Gianni Lancia, the owner, the former owner of the brand, the project was bought by Ferrari and slightly changed. The Lancia D50 had a front engine with not with the main shaft not parallel to the car's direction, in order to leave the main shaft run aside the pilot's seat and lower the pilot's position, with benefits both for aerodynamics and weight distribution. Both the clutch and the gearbox were at the rear, so it's a transaxle configuration, in order to give a better weight balance. And in fact, apart the Dion rear, sorry, I got some troubles with translating from Italian. With the rear bridge, it is a literal translation. The car handling was absolutely beautiful. The car was particularly light. It was lighter than most of the opponents of the same year. Despite the V8 engine was not the most powerful, it turned out to be a very nice, very performant car. With the little aerodynamic advantage of the side fuel tanks, it was even extremely fast. Talking about something less than 300 kilometers per hour. Talking about running on those tires, and at those times it was amazing. It was rated at 250 and 60 horsepower, with a 2.5 liter engine. Okay, let's get to the race now, because oh well, before talking about the race that is going to develop, I don't want to make spoilers now, but in a weird way, 2 words about the mod. You can see the rivets, you can see many details with suspensions, with rear view mirrors. You see that the people who worked at this mod made a really nice and attentive job, despite I think that there's some slight mistakes, for example in the distance between the wheels and the side fuel tanks, and also the angle of the fuel tanks that seem to point a bit to the sky. I don't really care, because the look is very good. It's very similar to the actual Lancia D50, the real car. Also, I noticed that there's a slight, I don't know how to say, American touch, because there are many chrome parts, for example the rims that look really shiny, as well as the big writings on the tires that give this feeling of speed and particularly American style. All in all, it's absolutely beautiful, and as I mentioned before, there was something going to happen quite weird during the race. I had just caught the P1, the lead, and made a stupid mistake on braking, moreover, not just letting my throttle foot escape, and I'm finding myself at 2 laps before the end in penultimate position. So here we're gonna see a furious try to recover position. The car is well aligned with the Maseratis you can see in racing here in this mode. I've got both the 6-cylinder and 12-cylinder from Assetto Corsa Ultimate Edition, which are natural opponents. So let's see how many cars I can eat up before the end of the race. AIs are set by default at 98%, so I should be able to catch first positions within 2 laps, risking very much and taking everything to the limit. 2 cars have been left behind, and now this sneaky road prevents from catching up many positions without risking too much. 2 words about this circuit. This is Magione circuit in Italy. I don't really know if it existed back in those years, but you know, we can always think about a revival race with all the glorious cars from the past. Magione circuit is often mentioned by my friends as too small. I don't know what it means small. There's another video of mine in my channel talking about this topic, but it's just a matter of adapting to the circuit and finding the way to make it more enjoyable. After all, it's a matter of personal likes. And another Maserati has been taken out. These Maseratis 250s are the one with 6 cylinders, so the power is more or less the same as my D50, but they are heavier, so and with slightly worse aerodynamics, so I'm in a winning car compared to them. I can't stop watching and re-watching this car racing here for its beauty, for its beautiful shapes, its beautiful proportions, and that idea of the side tanks that makes it even more elegant, in my opinion. This mod has been put together, as I mentioned before, with attention, but it's been simplified. Unluckily, there are only 3 colors, and only 3 of the 6 available cars have numbers in order to make things look good like in a real race. And unfortunately, 2 of the cars, my red one and the gray one, has the same number painted on it. Couldn't it be changed to 55 or whatever, 51 or 49? I don't care. Anyway, maybe one day I'll put my hands on the textures. But for now, the great thing is enjoying and hoping that some people can appreciate the beauty of the cars and the beauty of this way of racing. In last lap, everything is going to happen. Oh, this is, I remember, this is a slight contact. maybe a misunderstanding, but check it out with a struggle with this blue white striped Maserati in the last corners. At least I managed to climb from penultimate to second position, and I've got the silver and the podium for me. I think I've put the replay, the onboard replay of this last lap, because I liked it a lot, and to give the feeling of what it means to be there and race there. Yeah, the car slides everywhere up to the third gear, because the tires are so little grippy compared to the big power of these cars. And here we go, side by side, late braking, too late, so the grey number 50 is gonna flag me by the right side, but it's gonna make a mistake on the curve, so it touches me and then ends up in a spin. At the same time, the blue number 12 Maserati is making a mistake, touches the grass and gives me the second position. I tried to fight back, as you could see from the right triangle on the right of the screen, but in the end, buzzing the the paddocks, the second place is mine. Really lovely, everything is really lovely here, in my humble opinion. So thanks Lancia, thanks Assetto Corsa, thanks to the people who made this mod, the links in description, of course. See ya!